All right, let me pick up the second half of this belief quiz, and you're going to notice that I'm now up in the upper left-hand quadrant. In this regard, we're now above the horizontal line, so that this is going to be government regulating moral issues, or the bedroom issues, those 7 questions from the quiz. And in fact, in this upper left-hand quadrant, government should in fact stay out. Government should in fact stay out, if you look at it, of the wallet or the economics. I got 5 people up here in a question mark. Abaku, Pedro, Jessica, Maka, Elizabeth, and I think the question mark is Leonard, who probably doesn't want to admit this. But you folks, if you believe that government should regulate moral issues, and if in fact you believe that government should stay out of economic issues, you folks are what are known as my conservatives. And let me just give you a little bit on this. Conservatives are basically going to believe that you should be able to earn what you keep, but you also should be able to keep what you earn. They're going to be interested in taxing everybody the same percentage, because the thought process is that everybody should be treated equally. Everybody should pay the same. Now granted, 10% might mean more to somebody that makes less. 10% might actually be more if somebody earns more. But the fact is that the 10% is the key, and they're not necessarily going to believe that if you earn more, you should pay more, and by the same token, they're not going to believe that if you earn less, you should typically pay less. You'll notice up here, we talked about a number of different economic regulations, about the idea of government getting involved in regulating things like houses, government getting involved with things like minimum wages and whatnot, government getting involved with health insurance. Conservatives are basically going to say no. You should be able to stand more on your own 2 feet, and you shouldn't be paid a minimum wage, but in fact you should be able to get paid what it is that you earn, and if you do your job well, then you earn your keep, this kind of a thing. Health insurance is something that should be on the individual, and the individual should go out and ultimately be able to secure this without, in fact, government help, any kind of government assistance in that regard. And we can actually get into the bedroom now. They're actually going to believe that government should regulate moral issues. You know, we've talked about gay marriage in a number of instances in the first part of the class. Well, the idea of gay marriage, no, marriage is between a man and a woman. Conservatives are going to believe in conserving that traditional institution. When it comes to abortion, they're going to believe in protecting life. When it comes to being able to shoot someone if you feel threatened, you should be able to conserve your own life, for example. So note on this, when you talk about conservatives, conservatives are going to believe in regulating economic issues, at least the government doing so, but they're going to believe in the government staying out of people's wallets or economics. Now you'll notice up here, Jessica, Maka, and Leonard, all of you, on 5 of the 9 questions, you said that government should regulate moral issues. On 5 of the 9 questions, you in fact said that government should stay out of wallet issues. Y'all are leaning conservatives. It really depends on the issue. Sometimes you're going to believe in regulation of morals, and in fact, sometimes you're not going to believe in regulating the wallet. But it really depends on a particular issue. So y'all are very, very moderate. And what's interesting about this is that any of these people that are right around the center, if you change one question, they could be in any of the 4 categories. So in just a minute when we get to Carla, that's going to be something to think about. And we've talked about some other folks that were previously close there as well. You'll notice Elizabeth. Elizabeth, on 6 of the 9 questions, you said that government should stay out of your wallet. On 5 of the 9 questions, you said government should, in fact, regulate morals. So you're a solid conservative on economic issues, but in fact, you are a very moderate on the social ones. You do believe that government can make better decisions, but not on all the issues. And then we get to Abaku and Pedro over here. Abaku and Pedro, on 6 of the 9 questions, y'all said that government should regulate morals, and on 5 of the 9, you said that government should stay out of economics. In other words, you're solid conservatives when it comes to moral issues, but you're only moderate conservatives when it comes to economic ones. And again, with the economic issue, sometimes you are going to believe that government needs to get involved, but more often than not, you're not going to believe this. Now you'll notice, and I'll zoom back out on the screen here for just a second. We were just talking about liberals and conservatives back to back. And you'll notice up here that liberals and conservatives are catty-cornered from each other. For exam purposes, make sure that you recognize that a conservative is an exact opposite of liberal. Conservatives believe that the government should stay out of economics and regulate morals, whereas on the other hand, liberals believe that government should stay out of morals but regulate the economics. So keep that thought in mind. That's going to leave us with one last category, And this one last category only has one person in it, and boy, she's really going to regret that. But this is the finish of the 9 o'clock class. We've talked about liberals, we've talked about conservatives, we have in fact talked about the libertarians. If you believe that government should regulate morals, and if in fact you believe that government should regulate wallet or economic issues, you believe that in fact government can make better decisions for the people in both of these areas than in fact the people can make for themselves, you are what is known as a populist. You are what is known as a populist. And I have one populist in the class, and in fact, Carla, that is you. Populists believe in regulating everything. They believe that government can make better economic decisions than the people can make for themselves. So yeah, provide the health insurance because the people may not be able to get it or they may refuse to get it. We need to make sure that wages are carefully monitored because in fact people could be taken advantage of. We believe in fact that when it comes to social issues that in fact, you know what, government can make better decisions regarding abortion, regarding prayer, regarding gay marriage, regarding guns, these kinds of things, and in fact, people should not be trusted to make these kinds of decisions. Now here's the trick on this, and I had mentioned to you that conservatives and populists are exact opposites. Well, populists and libertarians are the exact opposites too, because if you remember, libertarians believe that the government that regulates, the government that governs best is the one that governs least. Well, populists, on the other hand, are going to say, hey, you know what, we need government to get involved. We need government to help Joe and Jane Sixpack. And if we can get involved little by little and we fix this problem, then we're going to get involved in another, and another, and another. And pretty soon what you end up seeing is that populists are really trying to control everything. What you're going to end up seeing is that if you fall in this populist category, Carla, and based on some of her law enforcement decisions, comments, I have a feeling that in fact you'll buy this, you are most likely to really be a dictator, or at least the potential comes there. Now I'm not saying that all populists become dictators, but what I am saying is, as you have success regulating and fixing problems, you keep moving and keep trying to fix more and more problems, and the danger is that you actually over-regulate. For exam purposes, these are the 4 ideologies. Please make sure that you know the relationship between these 4, bedroom and wallet. When government regulates, when government doesn't regulate, if government regulates both, or if government regulates neither, and that will be what you need to know for the first exam.